So, there are a lot of prospects in every single division in the UFC. So, today, we're going to be discussing my personal favorite top prospects in each division. Now, these are a little bit biased, a little bit of favoritism, but also, I've determined that these guys are very skilled, and I do think they're very good. And a lot of these guys are unranked, except the one. Whoa, 1 second. There we go. For flyweight, we have Joshua Van. Okay, there's a record of 10-1. He's 3-0 in the UFC, 3-fight win streak in the UFC. His wins are Zhalgas Zamagulov, Kevin Borjas, and Felipe Bunes. And he's 22 years old. He's the 5th youngest fighter on the roster. Now this guy, he has just ripping body shots. He puts on one of the most grueling paces I see. And that's just only with his striking. And with his style and the way he just rips the body in his boxing heavy approach, he can, the most cardio intense fighters, he can just shut them down. They gas out like the round 2 or 3. Like, he'll always lose the first round though. That's what I've noticed. Every fight he's fought, he's lost the first round. He's dropped it. But that's his whole thing. He drops the first round and he's like, I got you downloaded, and it's done for. You're done. Really good, well-rounded game. I mean, his wrestling is really good. He hides his takedowns very well behind his strikes. And he only started training wrestling 6 months before his fight with Zhalgas Zamagulov, which was in June of 2023. So the guy hasn't been wrestling that long. He made his professional debut in 2021, I believe. The guy's only been at this game for about three or 4 years. And he's already pretty fucking high level. And I think he can make a serious run to title contention in the future. For Bantamweight, we got Marcus McGee. Okay. His record is 9-1. Okay, he's also on a 3-fight win streak in the UFC. He's beat Journey Newson, JP Buys, and Gaston Bolaños. Now, Journey Newson and JP Buys were, I'm pretty sure, both coming off losses. And he hasn't really fought that great of competition yet. But, I mean, the guy has really good striking. He has a good, diverse striking game. He can switch it up. He's well-rounded, He has good submission ability. He trains at the MMA lab with guys like O'Malley and Jared Cannonier. So, this guy's got good partners he's training with. And he's got the right team for it. Coach Tim Welch, he coached O'Malley to the championship. He's a little bit on the older side, so I don't really know if he'll make it to that championship level with the amount of time he has left in his prime. But who fucking knows? Maybe he's the legendary one to do it. Maybe he's the one to break the 35 and older curse. But overall, good fighter. Hasn't really faced the most competition. I'd like to see him get a jump up. Face a bit of tougher competition. A bit someone with a bit more names. Maybe if he faces like a Cameron Simon, or like a Raul Rosas Jr. Maybe he faces like a Christian Rodriguez type. But that's just what I'm thinking. Maybe they don't want to put him against Christian Rodriguez because he always misses weight and he just kills prospects. But this is my pick for Bantamweight. For Featherweight, now I know. People are going to be like, what about Diego Lopez? What about Yo Anderson Brito? What about literally anybody but this fucking guy that nobody's ever heard of? Listen. I'm picking Jiang Yang Li. Okay, he's 11-1. He only has 2 wins in the UFC. One of those was the Road to UFC Season 1 finale, which got by split decision over Yi Zhe. And Yi Zhe won the Season 2 finale for Featherweight, in which he got a first round submission over the guy. So, you know, he's beat. You got to win over Blake Builder, who wants to fight Bradley Martin. I don't know why I threw that in there. I just felt like I really needed to. But overall, he's a good, well-rounded game. He struggles with those really good wrestlers a bit, as shown in the Aziza fight. But he does carry good power in his hands. He's really fucking big. He outreaches a lot of them. He outweighs a lot of them. He's probably going to be able to outmuscle a lot of them too. I mean, the guy does have. He also has some, you know, good grappling, good defensive grappling. But, you know, he's got a lot of the tools to make it to the top. I mean, you see some of these other bigger featherweights, you know, they kind of look weird. Like Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson looks fucking weird. Who let that guy into this? Who found this guy? How is he 6'2" and 145? That's besides the point. You know, he's got a lot of the tools. He's big. He's really muscular. Not only is he big in height, he's like 5'11", but he's also like big in like mass wise. Like the guy weighs in at 145. Fight day, he looks like he shows up like a welterweight. Like he's really big. He's only 22 years old as well, which is shocking. But the guy just has all the tools in the world for him. I don't know. Maybe he has like a glass chin, and maybe in his next fight we're gonna see it get cracked. But as far as I'm concerned, right now, I think he's really, really slept on. Then again, nobody's probably heard of him, and nobody's heard of him yet, so I don't know why. So maybe people just haven't heard of him to sleep on him even. But I don't know. I think he's got potential, and I think he could take it far. Okay, for lightweight, we have the man, the myth, the legend, the Polish power. Polish power. We got Mateusz Rebecki. Now, this guy's fucking good. He's 31, 19-1. This guy's got a lot of fucking experience. He's got a lot of experience. Okay, he's got wins over Rodrigo Lito off the Contender Series, Nick Fior, Loic Radzhabov. Now, if you know, if they have a beard and their name ends with OV, then they're good. Not really. I mean, he's pretty decent, but you know, he's nothing to write. Loic Radzhabov is nothing to write home about. But he's a good test, especially for like a second fight in the UFC. And Roosevelt Roberts, who was on The Ultimate Fighter and got that 10-second knockout. That was pretty fucking crazy. He caught him in an armbar in the first round. That was awesome. Like I said, the guy's only 31. Heavy hands. He's a really short and stocky fighter for lightweight. He has good takedowns and good ability to control, good grappling. He has the legendary Polish power. And you can see that with his leg kicks. Not only can he break his opponent's leg with his leg kicks, he can break his own leg with his leg kicks. And that's what he did against Loic Radzhabov. He fucking destroyed his leg. He destroyed Radzhabov's leg while breaking his own foot in the process. That's fucking funny. And that's awesome. I want to see him do that again without breaking his own leg. But if he broke his own leg, that'd be pretty fucking cool. He's deceptively fast, and he's really fucking strong. I mean, you see this guy's build. He's just built like a fucking tank. He's a juggernaut. He's supposed to be fighting Joel Alvarez next, who is literally the inverse of this guy, with the better, like, jiu-jitsu rather than wrestling. And Joel Alvarez is 6'3". I was thinking about it's either Joel Alvarez that I would pick for this or Mateusz Rebecki, and I'm just like, Mateusz Rebecki's so good. He's so fucking good. I don't see a guy in Joel Alvarez being able to stop him. Joel Alvarez was able to stop Thiago Moises, and I think Mateusz Rebecki would fucking sleep Moises in one round. So why I think maybe after this he fights Moises or like a Frivola. But I think after he beats Joel Alvarez, definitely give him like a top 15 guy. This guy can make it all the way. Welterweight. Now I know there are other, good fighters in welterweight that are unranked that I can't name. Because I'm forgetting right now. There were like a couple that I was thinking of, but Charles Radke. He's awesome. Beats the legendary City Kickboxing mythical god that is Blood Diamond, the Muay Thai legend, the striking god, the inventor of kickboxing and throwing punches. He beats him in his hometown and then proceeds to call the entire Australian crowd the slur for gay people that I'm not allowed to say, because then the video won't be allowed to be posted because I'll be saying bad words. But, it is what it is. The guy's 9-3. He's got good personality. He's 33. And, we haven't seen much of what he has to offer yet, but we do know he carries power in his hands. He has good boxing, he has a really effective jab. He showed that against Urbina. He bloodied up Urbina's nose. And he is really good. He's really good at timing. Like, whenever he found that, perfect left hook on Urbina, short, tight left hook, fucking slept Urbina. Almost perfect, almost slept him out, put him out cold. Urbina was able to get back up, and then he put him out with another left hook, 10 seconds later. His ground, he's a jiu-jitsu black belt, and it seems like in his first performance he really wanted to utilize his grappling. He doesn't seem too effective with it, but that's only based on the Blood Diamond performance. And he didn't really use grappling. He was able to stuff the takedowns of Urbina, who only shot one, but he was able to stuff it pretty easily. I haven't seen much in terms of his grappling game yet, and it doesn't seem to be the greatest. But then again, maybe he wasn't expecting Blood Diamond to be so good at defensive grappling, so he didn't train it all that much. He was focused on defensive striking, or I don't know. He started training with Bilal Muhammad, so that's probably going to change because, as much as we hate Bilal Muhammad, we got to admit the guy can wrestle and the guy can rack up control time. But clearly, Charles Radke has something that Bilal Muhammad doesn't, which is finishing potential. So this is my pick for Radke, or for welterweight. I mean, the guy has personality too. He's funny. He's got personality. I'd like to see him in a press conference. That'd be pretty cool, him at a press conference. I'd like to see him cuss some guys out. I'd like to see him at a press conference with Covington where he calls Covington a fucking loser. That'd be pretty funny. But I'd like to see this guy get maybe like a D-Rod or like a Li Jingliang. Whatever happened to Li Jingliang, I don't know. But like a D-Rod, maybe a Ponzinibbio. I think you could knock out Ponzinibbio. But I'd like to see him get a bit of a bump up in competition, a bit of a test, just to see where he really lies. Middleweight. My G, the legend Michel Pereira. Now I know he's a welterweight for most of his career, but he's moved up because he missed weight with his fight against Stephen Thompson. But in terms of his wins, he has Danny Roberts, Diego Sanchez. I don't care if he lost via DQ. He was fucking violating Sanchez. I don't care what you say. He's got Zalim Imadaev, Chaos Williams, Nico Price, Andre Fiallo. That win has not aged too well. His Andre Fiallo win has not aged too well. His Zalim Imadaev win has not aged well. The Nico Price one, I don't know. It really depends. His Chaos Williams and Nico Price wins are a bit suspect. You could argue them going to Price and Williams, but Santiago Ponzinibbio, he definitely won that fight, in my opinion. And Andre Petrosky. the guy's on a 6-fight win streak. On a 6-fight win streak. He's unranked still. But then again, he's only had one fight at middleweight. He's 29 wins, 11 losses, and 2 no contests. 30 years old. Probably the most experienced and most talented fighter on the roster without a rank. Really good, diverse striking. Can switch from a boxing style to like a kickboxing and Muay Thai whenever needed. Throws he does Showtime kicks. If you slap him in the weigh-ins, he's gonna fucking slap box you mid-round. He's gonna go from fucking whatever the fuck he's doing, throwing capoeira kicks, to slap boxing you mid-round like it's a fucking middle school bathroom. And the guy has good ground game too. He has pretty good jiu-jitsu. He's pretty good wrestling. He's big, strong. He was really strong at welterweight. And when he fought at welterweight, when he was cutting like 30, 40 pounds, dropping a lot of fucking weight, he still had a granite chin. He was still taking big shots off a lot of these guys. And he's experienced against some good high-level opponents. Like Andre Petroski. I mean, he went to a split decision with Gerald Mearshart that you could argue him losing. Maybe he's not the most high level, but you know, he's definitely better than the average. Andre Petroski is definitely better than the average middleweight. And Michel Pereira smoked him in 1 round. Then again, Petroski took the fight on like a week's notice. But still, he smoked him in 1 round. Ponzinibbio. You know, better than the average welterweight. Michel Pereira, for those first like 8 minutes, was piecing him up, fucking working him, destroying his body. Fucking 1-2s down the pipe. Leg kicks. He was destroying him. So that's my pick for middleweight, Michel Pereira. I know a lot of people are thinking, what about Roman Kopylov? What about Ikram Aliskerov? Kopylov kind of got fraud checked. He stepped in on short notice against Hernandez. I don't know how short notice it was. I think it was like 4-5 weeks notice, which against Hernandez, you'd probably need like an 8-week camp. I would rather have. And Ikram Aliskerov, he's beat Warley Alves and Phil No Chin Hawes. I like Phil Hawes, actually. I liked him. It was kind of sad what happened to him, but he does have no chin. And Warley Alves was like a 40-year-old man who stepped in on short notice as well to fight Ikram Aliskerov. I don't know, I just think a lot of the other middleweight prospects don't have too much going for them. I think there's a lot to be desired with him. But Michel Pereira, he's shown a lot, and he's fighting Michael Olajaychik. I think if he gets another finish in this fight, or he gets the win, I can throw him at number 15. The guy would be on a 7-fight win streak. But yeah, this is my middleweight pick. Light heavyweight. God, I feel like I should have changed it to Vitor Petrino. I really should have changed it to Vitor Petrino. But Bogdan Guskov. I don't know why I picked him. Looking back on it, it was kind of a weird pick, but I guess I'll roll with it. We got, he's 15-3. He's 31. He's only had 2 opponents in the UFC. Zach Pauga. Yeah, the guy who got knocked out by Muhammad Usman. Jesus, isn't that embarrassing? I mean, Zach Pauga and Volkan Ozdemir. It was on short notice, yeah. But I think he was doing not terrible against Ozdemir. I mean, when you're thrown in on short notice against Volkan Ozdemir, it's not a very good chance that you're gonna win. You kind of have everything going against you in terms of like all the odds are stacked against you. It's Volkan Ozdemir, Volkan's no slouch, no matter what way you look at it. But he's a big, strong light heavyweight. Haven't seen much of him yet. I think I was just doing these, and some of these I was just like, I want to be different. I think some of these I just wanted to be kind of different. This is the one where I'm like, yeah, I really try to be different. But this guy hasn't shown much. Maybe if he wins his like next 2-3 fights, then I'd be like, oh, okay, this is aged well. But as of right now, this is kind of a fucking stupid pick. But, you know, he's finished every fight he's won. I think he's been finished in every fight he's lost to. I don't think he's been to a decision yet. He seems to have a pretty decent shin. Zach Palga landed some good right hands on him. Good, clean, straight rights. He seems to have heavy hands as well. Striking is a little bit awkward, kind of like hands down. But it catches people off guard. The way his hands are placed and the way he strikes and throws his punches are kind of similar to Yuri. Except Yuri will throw, like, fucking weird-ass kicks in with it. And he'll like, jump, step back, and then throw a 1-2 that knocks you out. R.I.P. Volkan Ozdemir in that fight. That was a guy who fucking shit on Ozdemir in his debut. I don't know why Bogdan Guskov couldn't do it. All jokes aside, you know, the Anthony Smith clone. It's like Anthony Smith if he had any amount of muscle mass on his body. But you know, Bogdan Guskov, he's a fighter. He is a fighter, and he is in the UFC. I don't know, maybe this does age well, and he just becomes, like, the greatest light heavyweight of all time. Maybe he just, like, starts smoking everybody in division, and he gets his rematch against Ozdemir, and he just smokes Ozdemir. But, you know, you never know. You know me, man. Hey, you know me, man. Heavyweight. I know this is a bit different. We had a lot of unranked guys. Not many fights in the UFC. And then we're going to the interim UFC heavyweight champion. I mean, let's be fair. I think heavyweight has the most shallow talent. I mean, what you got? Shamil Gaziev. I mean, dude, Shamil Gaziev, this whole thing is, oh, he's a power puncher. He's going to knock you out. Dude, the guy has fucking, he's not that heavy-handed. He couldn't knock out. I mean, he got the TKO over Martin Badai, but he couldn't knock him out. Gaziev's fucking 34 years old. I mean, he's a fat heavyweight, so you know if it goes past the first round, he's gonna gas out. I mean, he's getting Rosenstrike in his debut, which is fucking crazy. Oh, well, not in his debut. He's getting it in his second fight in the UFC. He's at a Contender Series fight. He's fought Martin Badai, and then he's fighting Rosenstrike. I think Rosenstrike knocks him out, and even if he beats Rosenstrike, I'm not going to be impressed, regardless, because he's still a fat 34-year-old. I don't know. I feel like Tom Aspinall is one of the only people in the division who's, like, actually good. You know, you got Sergey Pavlovich. You got Jalton Almeida. He's the GOAT in terms of being able to hold people down. Dude, I don't think I've seen him get a knockout on the feet. I don't think I've ever seen Almeida get a knockout on the feet. I just think Tom Aspinall has more than all of these guys in terms of what he offers. I just think he has so much more to offer than, like, all of these guys. Like, his wins, you know, Jake Collier and Alan Baudot in his first two fights. You know, unknown, kind of fat scrub heavyweights. Then he bumps up Andrei Arlovsky, former champion. That's pretty... My dog is barking. You know, Andrei Arlovsky, former champion, back in, like, 2000, whatever. Still a former champion, still really good, crafty vet. He's got Sergey Spivak. No, he knocked him out in the first round, and then Spivak went on a 3-fight win streak, and then got beat up by Gon. But, you know, his Sergey Spivak win has aged pretty well. He's beat Volkov. That Volkov win has aged pretty well. Sorry, I'm adjusting myself in the chair. I don't know if you heard that. Oh, yeah, you can definitely hear that. Okay. You know, he lost to Curtis Blades, but he blew his fucking knee out, so I don't blame him. I think it's a little bit difficult to fight when you literally blow your entire fucking knee out, regardless. He beat Marcin Tabora in the first round. And he knocked out Sergey Pavlovich in a minute. I just don't think there's literally any good talent at heavyweight right now. Like, I looked through Tapology, I looked through their rankings, and I just started looking at literally every heavyweight, and I'm just... It's just, like, so upsetting and sad to look at. Like, it upsets me to my core. They don't have, like, anything to offer, really. I'm really hoping that heavyweight... I'm really hoping that all the fat heavyweights will eventually stop being fat and will just, like, cut down all their weight. Just cut off all your fat. If you have to fight at 205, fight at 205. If you have to fight at if you have to fight at 185, fight at 185. I just really want these dudes to stop fighting at fucking 200 pounds and being fat and slow. But I hit hard. Yeah, so does every other fucking heavyweight. We can find a knockout with any one of them. Tai Tuivasa is the only one I like, and Derek Lewis. They're the only ones I accept. Because Tai Tuivasa is funny, and Derek Lewis is also funny. But all the other ones are just fat. They need to cut down. I hope in the future, when the era of fat heavyweights is over, that it's all just like fucking ripped ass, jacked, fucking fast twitch muscle fiber heavyweights. But right now, they're all just like kind of fat and slow. People are looking at Gaziev and being like, oh, this guy could be a champion one day. Fucking no. No, he can't. Pavlovich puts him out. Swolkov stomps him. And Spivak shits on him. I don't know. Heavyweight's just not impressive, but Tom Aspinall is impressive. And I don't know, maybe he's only impressive because heavyweights are fat right now. But then again, the last, like, 3 heavyweights he's fought have been, like, actual, like, good athletes to an extent. So who knows? I think he beats John Jones. But yeah, those are my best prospects in each division. I know the heavyweight probably threw you off, but there's literally nothing at heavyweight that impresses me, so yeah, that's my pick. These are my picks. And I will see you all later.